Right. Can we give Will some more love? So before we get started, I want us to take an opportunity to just look in each other's eyes, to engage in some love. Please get up, tell somebody hi. Let them know that they matter. Give somebody a hug.
How you doing? How was the event? Good. Wonderful. Good to see you. Oh, I'm on your foot.
If you can find your seat. Before I get started this morning, I want to take an opportunity to just say thank you to our practitioners who held it down last Sunday while I was at home with the day off. Can we just have our practitioners stand? And our practitioners stand, please. Yeah, just stand. Stand, all practitioners. Oh, just stand, please. Receive some love, thank you. Yeah. It's nice to be able to take the day off and not worry about it. I appreciate our practitioners. We have an awesome practitioner corps. We're continuing on with our theme of the year, which is change, and specifically this month, change what you see. Change what you see. The principles that we'll be working with this morning, and I don't know if someone told me they made copies of our spiritual principles. I'm not sure if they made it to the back of the seats or not. At any rate, we'll be working with principle number 6, and it reads, we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And principle number 7, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. It seems like all morning the reading and the music has been about a reminder of our greatness, how great we are. And I want to start us off with just a little reading from Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. I've been working with this book a lot since we've been talking about change. But the 25th verse of the Tao, which is titled Living from Greatness, it says this: there was something formless and perfect before the universe was born. It is serene, empty, solitary, unchanging, infinite, eternally present. It is the mother of the universe. And further on in the reading, he has a paragraph that's titled, Trust in Your Own Greatness. And he says that you are not this body you occupy, which is temporary and on its way back to the nowhere from which it came. You are pure greatness, precisely the very same greatness that creates all of life. Keep this thought uppermost in your mind, and you'll attract to yourself the same powers of creation. The right people will appear, the exact events that you desire will transpire, the financing will show up. That's because greatness attracts more of its own self to itself. Just as thoughts of inadequacy act upon a belief that ensures that deficiency will become your reality. He says that we should affirm the following to ourselves over and over and over again until it becomes our automatic inner response to the world. I come from greatness. I attract greatness. I am greatness. I come from greatness. I attract greatness. I am greatness. And one of my favorite rap artists, Mr. Kendrick Lamar, in his song titled DNA, a few of his lines, he says, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. I got war and peace inside my DNA. I got pain and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, since one like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this. I am a new weapon. I meditate. I got realness inside my DNA. Our greatness. Thank you for letting me do that. But a reminder for us to live from our greatness. As I've been thinking about change, I have settled on the idea that change is a matter of choice, not chance. It's a higher way of living, a conscious and intentional way of living. I think it's so important you ought to tell your neighbor. So turn to your neighbor and tell your neighbor that chance is a matter. Let's start that over. Change is a matter of choice, not chance. One more time, we got to get this one right. Change is a matter of choice, not chance. Now we got it. Change is a matter of choice, not chance. It is a way of living, an intentional way of living, one that is soul revealing. That's soul revealing, where you and I get to meet ourselves at every turn, around every corner. This idea of change, this intentional way of living as a choice. But the question is, which self are you meeting? Which self are you meeting? So change the way you are living, and you will change the way you are living to change what you see, and you will see the life you are living change. Change the way you live to change what you see, and you will see the life you're living change. One more time. There's a couple of people like, what? Change the way you live to change what you see, and you will see the life you're living change. We got it. Whew. Y'all on point today. I want to share a little reading with you from Joel Goldsmith, Practicing the Presence. I love Joel Goldsmith and his books and his teachings. And I'm reading from chapter 9, and it's titled, A Moment of Christhood. And in it he says, the correct letter of truth necessary for spiritual unfoldment is embodied in principles. Love God with all your heart, acknowledging that God is the only power and that there is no power in any effect. Love your neighbor as yourself by refraining from all judgment as to good or evil, by forgiving 70 times 7, and by praying for your enemies. Recognize the infinite nature of individual being, the corollary of which is that there is only one self. Begin to pour into the realization that to him that hath shall be given. Demonstrate God and not things. Meditate on God and the things of God, and live only in this moment, which is the only moment there is. A full realization of any one of these principles, living and working with it day after day and week after week, would be sufficient to transform our experience and usher us into the kingdom of heaven. Instead of attempting to grasp the full meaning of truth in the short span of a day or a week with one reading of this or of any other book, we should begin working with one principle and take this principle into meditation daily for at least a month, dwelling on it until its inner meaning is revealed and it becomes the spirit that quickens. And then observe to what extent our words and acts are in harmony with it. Thus it becomes bone of our bone and flesh of our flesh. Many times we let the pressure of the world rob us, not only of our peace, but of the time in which we have these quiet periods of renewal which work the transformation in our lives. If we are sincere in our desire to experience God, we shall make it a matter of decision, of choice, to let nothing interfere with our firm resolve and steadfast purpose. Change the way you live to change what you see, and you will see the life you're living change. He said to meditate on it day after day, daily, monthly. Change the way you live. It's a matter of meditating day after day, choosing to demonstrate God, not things. To meditate, to contemplate on the principles, the ideas that we talk about on Sunday, the ideas and the principles that we share in our classes, the ideas and the principles we take time to be with in our workshops, the ideas that we share during our client and our counseling sessions, the ideas that we share with each other during fellowship. Change the way you are living to change what you see. So it's an opportunity for us to take these ideas, to meditate, to contemplate day in and day out on them. To turn them around, upside down, to shake them, look at it from the left, look at it from the right. And we're not proposing that we do this so that we can gain some sense of absoluteness, because truth just is. And this is not a teaching of dogma. This is not a teaching of doctrine. It's a teaching of choice. It's a teaching of choice. And we're not, it's not a question of looking at the material, this book or that book, to somehow interpret it to make it work for our life. Because you can't interpret the truth. The truth is just the truth. You can't interpret it, it just is. And it is forever evolving into something new. In other words, the truth of yesterday is not the truth of today. It is something more. Ernest Holmes said that life is ever spiraling upward. It's the same thing for us. There's something ever spiraling upward in us if we will change the way we are living to see it. To see it. It is forever unfolding and evolving by means of you and me. This unfoldment of its ideas, the intelligence that it is, can